Thank you, Ibrahim and Hamidu, for that background report on 2 years of Tinubu administration and 26 years of unbroken democracy. And seated here in the studio this morning to talk more about the 2 years of President Tinubu's administration and 20 years of unbroken democracy is Fatima Haman, politician and social media strategist. You're welcome to Good Morning Nigeria.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let me also welcome here in the studio Kunmi Fakeye, who is a public affairs analyst. A pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you, Victor. It's nice to be here today.
All right, let me begin. They say ladies first, right?
Okay. Of course.
Of course.
So what's your, of course? So what's your honest assessment of the last 2 years of the Tinubu administration?
Thank you very much. Well, the administration has really tried from what I've observed. I noticed when I was in NYSC, I used to get the, I would say, allowance much lower than 77,000 naira. But now it has been improved for NYSC students, which is what I would say the welfare of the NYSC students have improved.
Members, right?
Yes, and then also the economic growth of the revenue generation, like CBN, FIRS, and the customs, have also improved. Then in the area of technology, Ministry of Interior has simplified the passport application processes, where you could just stay in the comforts of your homes and apply for your passport, and it will be out in a seamless time. So there's been a number of them that, of course, policies again. There's been some policies that have helped in terms of reforms, which is the minimum wage has increased. It used to be 30,000 naira and is now 70,000 naira. And therefore, the civil servants are putting their best and getting their pay as at when due. In most cases, this also can avert the strikes by workers in most cases. So here and there, I think the administration has tried in their own capabilities, which are very notable to the Nigerian citizens.
Yes, indeed. Nigerians are, out there saying that the President Tinubu administration has tried in so many areas. Let's bring in Mr. Fakeye into this conversation now. In one word, how would you describe the 2 years of President Tinubu's administration? It's been a roller coaster ride, actually, from removal of fuel subsidy to bringing down strikes in school. And for the betterment of Nigerians are saying, well, it's 2 years. We cannot say he has not tried. He has tried. In the next 2 years, we need to see how far he can go to make Nigeria a better place to live in. So let's have your assessment of the 2 years and tell us why.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me here this morning. It's nice to be here. I watch your show every morning, and I see you and Victor's. And so the way I've assessed the government for the last 2 years, there's been a lot of not only in Nigeria, it's a global issue in terms of economic growth and all that. So I've seen the administrations led by President Tinubu has been doing a lot of things in different areas, especially when it comes to helping, giving out loans to some of these, what they call the soft loan that is being assessed by some of the market women and men in the market area, just to boost the economy. And I've seen that over 700 million has been assessed by different people and all that. In terms of the economic impact, there has been a lot of road development, network road that we are doing that will impact the economy. I've seen that the security issue, which is the most important in this administration, the government, the president has, empower the service chiefs to make sure that they contain the terrorists, killing especially in the northeast and the northwest area. So many things have been happening with President Tinubu. He's embodied, and he has said that he asked for this job, so he's prepared for this job. And I've seen in the areas of student loans that they have given out to the students, over 300 million has been dispersed to about 500,000 students directly to the schools and all that. So there's still a lot that has been done, as Fatima has said earlier, in terms of the passport issue, in terms of the minimum payment, because from 35 to 70,000 is not what they wanted. We are not there yet, but we still have another 2 years to. They can still be renegotiated. So I feel like there's still to be done in the next 2 years. But as for the midterm, where we are right now, so many things have been done. The CBN has cleared over 10 billion worth of loans from outside the external that will affect the economy. So we have more money to spend, in the economy in Nigeria, and we have a lot of people wanted to bring money in, investment in oil and gas. So there are so many issues and so many things that the president has done that we should just be patient and give him time to.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fake, but I would like to stay with you for a moment.
Sure.
From your perspective, what are the most defining features of the administration's governance style these last 2 years?
Well, like we have said earlier, Mr. President himself, is embodied, is already prepared for this job. It's not that easy to run, a country. We can see in the global world that the economy is a little bit down. It's only not in Nigeria. I've seen the price of food has gone down a little bit, but not where it's supposed to be. But if you look at it last year, December, they are selling rice for about 100,000. So people are buying it 58, 68,000 now. So we have seen the impact of what Mr. President has done in terms of fuel subsidy, because there's more money now for the state government, to pay salary, to do development. And when you look at the new development authorities that they are following in each senatorial zone now, so that will give us more capability for the state government and the commission to invest in people, build more school, more health care, hospital, and all that. So all these things are coming around now, and I want to really commend the president for his leadership, in this area of development that we have seen so far in the last 2 years.
Interesting. We've talked about food prices coming down, and the forex reforms by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Some people say it's working.
Yes.
Things are getting better. But when it comes to security matters, in the last few days, last few weeks, it has sort of escalated. And President Tinubu is saying all the forces should be on ground, boots should be on ground to make sure that Nigeria's territorial integrity is restored. Now, let's talk about security. You're from the northeast, I'm from the northeast. We know how bad it has been. So can you assess the security situation in Nigeria and what President Tinubu has done so far to ensure that every life is safe?
I think as the Commander-in-Chief, it's obviously a concern to him and to the citizens. But so far this has been an ongoing issue. We know issues of the Boko Haram and the insurgencies in Nigeria. But with this new administration, which has just lasted for 2 years, there's been synergy amongst all the arms of government, and the executive, legislative, and judicial arms. which are working more collaboratively to tackle these issues. I guess they have come up with policies that will, and the external international support to address issues of insurgency in the north.
So how do we reduce the escalation of security issues, especially across the north?
We just have to have our armed forces take cognizance of insecurity in different states and look for ways of eradicating it. I guess that's why they are there. So they have their strategies, come up with strategies, have meetings and surveillances of how to tackle insecurity in Nigeria. That's why they are leaders. That's why they would have this meeting from time to time and assess if it is progressing, come up with some sort of results of that. I'm sure this cannot be done within a short period of time, but with dedication and support, definitely we hope that this issue would reduce.
Yeah, it takes time.
All right. But let me again stay with you. You know, many have argued that while the government is pushing, you know, strong economic reforms, that the messages, the timeliness of the messaging and the messaging itself has not been as empathetic as it should be. Would you agree?
To some extent, because people would like to see more results happen faster, but I guess the government has to work on letting us know the way forward, like what are they really doing. It needs to be visible to people what their plans are in order to eradicate this insurgency issue. So I think the government needs to work more on creating more awareness. What have they done in this state? How has it reduced? You know, assessment of their performances in terms of security issues in Nigeria. I think that would be really helpful for us to know, because when people don't know your efforts, they don't really get the picture of what's going on, you know. So if the government is working hard, let us see what the government is doing. Let the Nigerian public see what is going on, because every day we hear of families that are dying and these things have not been addressed. So they have to bring us up to date to what is going on.
Okay. They have to bring us
that.
up to date, more
Yes.
awareness, great awareness, you know, across Nigerians, for Nigerians to know what the military is doing to ensure that lives are saved and
Yes.
Nigeria stands strong. Mr. Fake, people have described President Tinubu as somebody who says his mind. He doesn't, you know, play around with words. He says it. So can you tell us what stands out most to you about his leadership approach or style? We all know he's a listening president.
Yes. I'd like to comment a little bit on what Fatima said about security before I answer that. Yeah. I've seen that most of these security issues, over 13,500, I think they mentioned that it's been eliminated. The president has just procured more fighter jets to give more power to the Air Force to eliminate, and we need to secure our border more, because, like I say, I'm not really, the way I looked at it, I see a lot of foreign, people, crossing over, causing all these terrorists and killing all of that. So I think it's more that, like Fatima said, that we should let us know what is happening, what is going on, and so that the security issue is very important, because anybody that wants to come to Nigeria without feeling that they are secure, they want to bring FDI into the country, they look at the security situation. So it's something that the president is working very hard on, and I think back to your question about his mindset, the way he thinks, is somebody that I've known for a long time, and it's a leadership as shown since he's been here for 2 years now. This is something that is done in Lagos State prior to coming here. If you look at the way Lagos State was, back in the days when they took over in 79, there was a lot of issue, dead body on the streets, environmental, but everybody was saying that it's Mr. Slow, he doesn't get the job done. But if you look back at what they've done there now, you know, everybody wants to come to Lagos now. It's like a economic capital of the day. So the same thing that he will do here is somebody that listens to people, and it might take him a long time to act. You know, he makes sure that, you know, he has people that advise him, that tells him, you know, it's not basically everything that you tell him that he will do. So it's a mindset of a president that he has the feeling for Nigerian people. People just doesn't know him that well. This man loves Nigeria.
They're getting to know him.
They get it.
You talked about foreign direct investment,
Yes.
You know, and let's talk economics. The removal of fuel subsidy and the forex reforms were bold moves by
Yes.
President Bola Ahmed
Yes.
Tinubu. How has it affected foreign direct investment into this country?
Well, you know, basically, I've seen that people, the other side criticizing that he travels a lot, he goes this and that. That's the man is a business guy. He's a businessman, Mr. President. He knows, he has worked in corporate world. He has worked in Arthur Anderson. He has worked with Mobile Exxon. He has worked with, actually he has worked with, you know, based on what I know, worked in Aramco in South Africa when he went to audit there in Saudi Arabia. So he's an you know, a business guy. So when he travel all over the world, he's been trying to convince people to come and invest in Nigeria. So that has been in about $50 billion worth of investment that is directly coming to the country. So we need to have a leader that when we go out there to talk to the other leader in the world, you know, they know that this man is trusted. You can see that the World Bank, you know, I've already recommended that Nigerian's economy is going to, under President Tinubu, is going to be, you know, is going up. We have B, I think B plus rating right now. So everything is looking good. With the investor coming in, that will affect the economy, more jobs, more taxes. People are, you know, putting more into oil and gas. So things are going to be looking good. So the next 2 years that we are, this is a midterm scorecard now. So the next 2 years will even be more prosperity for Nigeria than what we have seen before.
All right. Victor, thank you
we need to
very
remind
much.
our viewers to send in their,
their
messages. The number is there on the screen. You can send in your text messages so that you can contribute to the conversation on President Tinubu's midterm scorecard.
And make it short.
Yes, make it short. And please don't forget to add your name to your text message.
All right. Let me get back to Herman. You are a media strategist and politician. So how do you gauge the balance between perception and performance in this administration?
First of all, as a media strategist, there's so many areas I can talk about in terms of what's going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
You can't?
I can.
Okay.
I can talk about, so that you're never going to run out of what to say. You know, there's news every day. So I have a platform called Sage that updates people on what's going on politically, economically, socially, everything in terms of also welfare and employment. Then the second question was the
balance
the
between
balance.
perception
Yes.
and performance.
So in terms of my performances, how I wage that would be just getting feedbacks from my work.
I'm talking about the administration.
Yes.
What have you found in terms of balance between perception of the people and the actual performance of this administration?
Okay, so from my perception, I feel that a lot of Nigerians are complaining, to be honest, of the economy, what's going on. Some of them are not happy, but we are still hopeful that a lot of things will be very well improved,
But is
which
it
we can also
reflective?
see some of the changes.
is it reflective of the performance? I'm trying to
Within
gauge
2
what
years.
the balance is,
within
between
the 2 years.
what the people see and
Yes.
what actually happens. Is
Yes,
is it balanced?
Well, sort of. Sort of. I would say a 50-50. I would say a 60-40 wage right now. We can't really get that 100% because some things are not really where they should be. So people's perception would be like, I would say 60-40. People's perception, 60-40.
60-40.
Yes,
Okay.
that's my honest opinion.
60-40.
Yes.
So 60 for affirmative.
60 affirmative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Fake, one bold move that President Tinubu has, made in the past 2 years is the local government autonomy, giving power back to the grassroots. But there have been issues on how this money is distributed. They now have their accounts, but there are some issues arising from it, saying that state governments are still in control of the local government account. Do they have absolute autonomy?
Well, I mean, I think it's a bold move by the president to dabbling into this local government and the state government. This local government actually is the grassroots. That it's really, they are connected to the grassroots. So I think it's the way I'm saying that is, that's why I said that Mr. President is a genius person. He knows how to, delegate the government. The local government chairman, they have their own funding to do their own projects. It's not that they're going to be dependent on the governor to tell them to give them money to do this government. So everybody is now accountable for their own project and their own funding coming directly to them. As you stated earlier, each of the local government chairman is accountable for what they get from the CBN as their allocation every month. So he gives them directly so that they will be able to see where the actual people, the people where they need the help, so that they can go down there directly instead of waiting for the government to pass the money down to them. So I think it's a great move. We will see the dividend down the road that this is a perfect decision that the president introduced. So I'm still looking for more, because especially now that we have this regional commission for it. So everybody gets their own dividend, and the commission is doing their own, the state government is doing their own, and the local government is doing their own. So we shouldn't be having any issue about non-payment of salary, project development, hospital, innovation of schools, making sure that the welfare of the people are taken care of. So that's the reason why I think it's a good idea that all the three tiers of the government have their own different autonomy.
All right, and in light of 26 years of unbroken democracy, what do you believe are the institutional strengths that we must preserve as Nigerians, and what must change to deepen democratic governance? Well,
the way I look at it, as we are using the American style of democracy here, and I look at what has been achieved the past 28 years, as we said, uninterrupted. It's a good thing for Nigeria. We are learning. American system has been there for like maybe 100 years. We are just like 28 years, so we are still learning. So I think we have a good, the future looks good if we can stay in the path. And I know the president, the way he's trying to guiding the country, when he leaves after his 8 years term, improve more on that, make sure that, as he's been talking about the youth is now going to be given the opportunity, to look at, take over, so that they can learn from his legacy of what he has done so far. So I think we are, the country is on the right path. It's going to be, it's a long process, but we are there. You know, it's not easy, but, you know, we are there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
To get better.
We will get better.
Ms. Hammond, you know, let's have your take on President Tinubu's fight against corruption, because we just can't rule that out. It's something that is eating deep into the fiber of the nation, and President Tinubu is saying corruption cannot continue in this country. So some politicians are saying it's not a genuine effort, it's just political theater. So what is your opinion here?
I think the president has tried in terms of curtailing the anti-corruption in Nigeria. The administration has taken action against the alleged financial mismanagement, ensuring greater accountability in government agencies. So I think that the effort has been really looked into from the past incidences that have happened from past ministers that mismanaged, and where actions were taken against that. So I don't want to mention names.
Okay.
I think we all know.
Well, let's talk about youth engagement.
Yes.
Let's talk about youth engagement. Many young Nigerians are still skeptical about, you know, the promises of democracy. Now, from where you stand, how can political leadership rebuild trust among this critical demographic?
I think as a youth, the government, this administration has made more efforts in terms of giving us more visibility and feasibility in terms of taking leadership positions. But there still needs to be more done for the youths. In terms of policy making, they need to increase their chances of taking elective positions. Agencies need to work more with the youths. Yeah, they need to encourage more of the youths out there that they can also have a say, and this can also give us more confidence.
How do you think this can be done better? Because at the moment, I mean, there are several youths in this administration.
Yes.
Which has never been seen before. If we have a lot
correct.
of the youths, how else do you think you can get the youths to be involved in governance?
So it's all about enlightenment and encouragement on both sides. A lot of them are aspiring to get involved in policy making, but like I said, there needs to be more platforms and agencies that support that in terms of getting them involved. So I think the government needs to work more on that, on creating more platforms for them to have their voice heard.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, indeed.
I was thinking she would say for us.
For us. So we have some text messages that came in before I get to Mr. Fake here. Let me read some that I have here. It said, "Good morning. The major sector that defines any administration's performance is the economy. With the high inflation, unemployment, foreign exchange crisis, etc., the president has not done well so far." That's coming from Greg here in Abuja. And from Gloria, she said, "When will building materials come down?" And Abrahams said, "Why is there still no 24 hours of constant light despite the promises of Mr. President?" Mr. Fake, can you respond?
But I have, okay, maybe when he responds, I have two of my own.
Yes, yeah, okay, you can go ahead. And
All right, and Prophet God Day says, "Good morning, NTA crew. Congratulations to all Nigerians on this special day. I want to say that Nigerians should be patient and endure the temporal hard time and contribute to rebuilding of Nigeria." Okay, that's from Prophet God Day. And then the second is from Ajaitunde Moses in Lagos. "Tinubu's performance," he says, "is commendable. On the issue of Boko Haram, etc., the military should be keeping their plans to themselves most of the time." Okay?
Well, you know, just to add to the person that sent the text. I want to say this, that with the situation of the power, electricity generation, I think there's been a lot of investment in this power generation, even in the past, since President Obasanjo to President Buhari, and we have been having issue with that power generation. It's something that we should focus on, because without the electricity, there's no country economy that will grow. So it's one of those things that the president is looking into. There are some things that needs to be changed, and look into how the generation can be more effective, so that all these companies leaving the country to go to Ghana or other country can come back and stay here to create jobs. Mm-hmm. So power is one of the first things in the country to make the economy run. And then when you talk in terms of the security that we have spoken about, without the security, nobody wants to come around and invest. So those are the two major important things that will affect the economy. So if people have not seen the dividend in the economy or the inflation coming down, they have, like the person said, that we have to commend the president. We have to be patient, because it's a global economy issue now, not only in Nigeria, that we have the issue of inflation. I just came back from the United States. Egg that we used to buy for $1.99 is selling for $6.99, for God's sake. So things is all over the world that the inflation is high, but Mr. President is doing a wonderful job. There's more food, security, and more fertilizer given to the farmer, that would affect, what is produced, and people can have the chances to buy the food here. There's money given to the marketers, so that they can be from a seller to a distributor. People are hiring more people. So all this situation that we are in now, it's not a permanent situation. It's just a temporary. So I implore everybody just to be a little bit patient. It will be better, and we are working on it.
All right. Thank you very much, Kumbi. Let me get back again to Fatima. Now, the Renewed Hope agenda has shaped this administration. From where you stand, what are the pluses of the Renewed Hope agenda? Is it good as it is? Is it okay, or are there things that need to be added to it? Does it need enhancement in any way, and what would that be?
In this administration, like we discussed earlier, the only thing that concerns me now is, I would say, the youths, who are the future of tomorrow.
And that seems to have been taking, a great deal of, it seems to have been taken care of a great deal, because if you see the amount of involvement of youths, you talk about the student loan scheme, you talk about NEL fund, a lot of things that cater for the youths. So would you say that's sufficient as it is?
That's sufficient, but not enough, because there are still people out there that are unemployed and looking for jobs every day. There's still a lot of people that are out there looking for jobs every day. So I feel like catch them young after they finish from the university. Let it be like a national thing where they automatically get jobs or temporal jobs into different institutions, because when they finish from the university, they are very creative, they are ready to work. So they don't want to finish and then they have nothing to do. So I think they need to get them more engaged, get the youths more engaged. Yes, there are different schemes available for the youths, but still, how accessible is it in every state? It can be a national thing whereby when you finish from school, you automatically get a temporal employment into any of the organizations working there, freelance, before you get a job. than to just, some of them are just at home after getting their degrees or whatnot, masters.
What you're saying, we should increase the internship.
Increase internship, let it be a national thing, not just certain states like Abuja or Lagos. It can be a national thing, like in the United States or in US or UK or abroad, anywhere abroad. When you finish, you get an internship. It's an automatic thing for a citizen. So I feel as Nigerian youths, we also have to be given this advantage, and that can eradicate a lot of crimes, like, we would say this robbery and so many things, 419, Yahoo boys. So don't overlook it. It's very, very important when we talk about the youth, please. Yeah.
You're a woman, the UN women have been, advocating for reserved seat for women politicians, and you're a politician. Have we been able to achieve the 35% affirmative action?
Yes, we have, and that's commendable.
Have we? That's the first time I'll hear from a woman, and I think we can finally have some peace, right?
Yes. To some extent, the First Lady...
Why do they need to reserve seats for women?
So many reasons. Ooh.
Okay, let's hear it.
There's so many reasons why.
Because they can't compete?
No, not because they can't compete. I feel women are good planners, and also in terms of policy making, we have a way of having our voice heard. We have a way of managing situations. I won't say what a man can do, a woman can do as well, but kudos to the men who are leaders as well. We're not competing with the men, but we're just saying that if women are given the options of leadership position, they can also put in their own quota into managing situations better as women.
So it's all about equity, not equality.
Yes, it's all about equity, not equality.
Interesting. Mr. Fake, we've seen union strikes, we've seen street protests, and what is your opinion on how government has been able to handle this dissent through dialogue?
I've always believed that anything, you have to dialogue, you have to negotiate. We don't need protests that would lead into chaos and all that. So I think Mr. President has, in his time of his administration, has handled that fairly. I can see everybody have the right to protest. You have your voice to be heard, and but it's still better to have a negotiation so that that's the best policy, is to bring everybody to the table, have a dialogue, and you can speak and find out how we can make peace happen, not by fighting, burning cars and all that. So you damage so much that it affects not only the economy, but so I think dialogue is the best omen to negotiate, in the power of negotiation. And I think we've done that. Mr. President has done that very nicely, politely in the last 2 years. We haven't had that much chaos. But back to the what Farima was saying about the woman. I always feel like she said, women, they are very good in nurturing things and all that. So I still believe that they are not there yet, and they should go out there and fight for their right, because they are the majority voter.
Yes.
So,
yeah, the women and the youth constitute 70% of the
yeah,
vote.
so
yes.
I think that way they could use their platform to put everything on the table. So I still encourage that women should go out there and make sure that they get their.
I like that, Mr. Fake. So you are he for she.
I'm for both.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll take a break now. When we return, the conversation continues. Don't go away.
All right, thank you for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA, and we've been discussing the second anniversary of the President Tinubu administration, and of course, 26 years of unbroken democracy. And we've had messages coming in. Two more I have here, Jumai.
Yes, I have
now,
some too.
Joshua from Benin City says, the president is trying. It's just that Nigerians need to join hands with him. Stop this mentality of taking money home every day aside salary. This is what is causing corruption in the country, he says. Okay? And Mr. C.F. Audu says, honestly, I commend President Tinubu for the wisdom in appointing Nyesom Wike as the FCT minister. That man is doing wonderfully well. But please let him assist us to work on Al Mohas Road at Gwagwalada because the road is terribly bad. Maybe I should add that a bit more of internal roads,
Yes,
where the
internal
people
roads, yes.
live and come out from.
Exactly. And I have from Ebonyi State, Engineer Silas Uweke Ugadu in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. He said, the major thing I like about President Ahmed Tinubu is his firm decisions. He takes bold decisions without minding how these decisions affect his political ambition. However, his advisors should do more work on effects of his policies on the populace. And then Buhari Garba from Sokoto sent this text message. He said, please, I want to know why Mr. Tinubu borrowed such huge amount of dollars while he said he has accumulated funds after fuel subsidy removal. Please tell Nigerians why. Mr. Fakeye, let's begin with you as you respond to some of these texts.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to, the one from Sokoto that says, where is it born?
Yes.
America is the largest debt, country in the world. Everybody borrows money. Even if you have reserve of 30, 40 billion, you still need a credit to show that you can borrow and you can pay. Your credit is your lifeline. So if you don't borrow money, how are they going to know whether you can pay back? So people
Does it matter what you do with it?
Yeah, because people need to know that, by borrowing money, it shows that, you have a leverage to pay it back. So some of this money that is coming in every year that we're flowing in, that we are borrowing, you are using it for renovation, roads, hospitals, schools and all that. It's not that money that they just borrow and you just spend it anyhow. So people should understand why we borrow money. We cannot use what we have in reserve just to be lavishing and borrowing. We have paid off over 10 billion in the last 24 months of borrowed money. That this was accumulated before Mr. President come. So in the World Bank, IMF, if you don't have any credit with your country, they're not going to give you no money. So they should understand why we are borrowing money and what is he using the money for. So then the next thing that the other person was mentioning is that, Mr. President, this job is not an easy job. I'm telling you, that's one of these people, they're just like they are doing in Lagos, one day governor. They didn't go around the country for one day and see how it is. It's not an easy person. You can even age in 2-3 days with the problem that we have. So he's doing his best, people should, it's only been there for 24 months. If you look at some of our past president has been there before, this man he has embodied himself. He's an experienced politician. He's not somebody that you can just shove around, and he knows what he's doing. So we should give him the benefit of the doubt, let him do what he was hired to do. So there's no way you cannot criticize, but people should have information before you start criticizing. Don't start distributing or telling people fake news about this man is doing this, he's not doing that. So many news that's come out that it's negatively, but some of the things that he has done in the past 2 years is commendable. No other president has done. If you look at the list of what we have, the renewal agenda is to bring the government to the people, by the people. Like President John F. Kennedy said on his inauguration in 1960. It's not what you can do, it's not what your country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. So let's all put our hands together and work with Mr. President.
All right, Safaka, let me stay with you. You know, one of the striking features of this administration has been its openness to working with the private sector.
Sure.
So would you say that this is sustainable? Is it solving, you know, challenges? Is it something that we should stick with, or something that we should, you know, be cautious about?
Well, you know, when you're dealing with the private people, they are bringing their money to invest. So, and the way the private people organization runs their system is different from how the government runs. They are more lenient, they don't waste, private organizations do not waste.
Frugal.
Yeah, they want to make money to make sure that, you know, whatever they are investment in, the government section is, you know, like we know, you know, they spend money without being accountable for it. But that's why it's bringing in someone, as you see, even the new NNPC person that they're bringing them from shelf, from the private sectors. You know, this is the man that has been in the oil industry for a long time. He's an accountant, he's an auditor, he's not just regular. You know, they know how to spend money. Accountants just don't spend money and give it away anyhow. So Mr. President is an auditor, he's an accountant, so he's accounting for all the money that is bringing in and they are spending. So that's why they are working with the private organization. So that's why they are bringing them in, to help sanitize the government.
And based on what you said, let me bring Fatima in. Has the government been transparent enough to Nigerians?
I think to some extent. We know how the EFCC have been picking up a few lapses here and there. So those things have been put out there in the public of mismanagement. Any of the organizations that are mismanaging will be picked up by the EFCC. And yeah, I think they've tried to some extent. To some extent, yes.
And what role do you think that the National Assembly and civil society should play going forward in ensuring that the momentum of reform is matched by accountability?
There should be more trainings and more policies to govern transparency in every organization. And the important organizations that man those mismanagement of funds should work together strongly. Like I mentioned, the EFCC and all, and they need to take more recognition when there are lapses in terms of funds. Yeah, I think that anti-corruption agencies, yeah, should work together in tackling issues of mismanagement in the economy.
Okay, Mr. Fake, talking about fighting corruption, the EFCC, and recently we saw them hand over 753 houses to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, and because President Tinubu has said every Nigerian deserves a home. So, and there have been reforms in the housing sector. They're building houses across the country. Do you think that is enough to cushion the deficit in the housing in Nigeria?
Yeah, it's not enough, but we are on the right path. You know, but see, like you said, the houses that was taken over 750, it will be sold to the low-income, middle-class people, which is the right thing. But we still need more low-cost housing, because if you been out to out of the country like London and UK and America, they have low-cost housing projects that, you know, that could be developed for people, so that they have access to, everybody has the opportunity to own a home. You know, it doesn't have to be that expensive housing. So I will implore that the government to look into that section now and see how we have a lot of land masses. You know, we can bring investors in and build low-cost housing so that people can benefits and have the entitlement that, you know, everybody wants to be a homeowner. And who wants? Not everybody wants to be a renter, especially nowadays that the rent has gone over the roof. So those are the things that I will. That the president and the minister of housing, you know, should look into how to bring investor in, just bring in massive houses. Because I drive through Abuja, I see land here, land here. I'm like, why are they not building houses for, you know? So those are the things that I think that we have to look for in the next 2 years. How to make life easy for people to be able to own a home. Everybody is entitled to that. So I think it's something that, you know, we should put on the table.
Put on the table.
Well, many Nigerians are asking, where's the relief after the reforms?
Yeah.
So would you say that government is doing enough to cushion the impact of the reform?
Yes.
Or what do you think should be done to make it easier for Nigerians?
Well, you know, as I was telling you earlier, on the impact of on May 29, 2 years ago, when the president said the first subsidy is gone. That's the only president in Nigeria that has the audacity, that has the power to. Nobody can do that. But the impact on that first subsidy removal, you know, the dividend is coming. You can see that, like I was telling you, if you look at most of the governors now, you know, before they are unable to pay the salary, they were borrowing money, but they are not doing that. They are more money channeled to the state government now. So to do infrastructure development, making sure that the salary. So that's why you see all the governors, they are so happy nowadays. Everybody's getting money, but they are not telling people, hey, this first subsidy is what, you know, that's causing that. So there's more needs to be done. You know, I've seen that, you know, some of these money that we have saved from first subsidies, you know, they have created all this commission in this development of this development in each zone. You know, they are putting money into that. They are putting money into road construction. They are building roads, almost 2,700 kilometers of road along the coast from Sokoto to Badagry, Lagos to Calabar. So all this money has been channeled to that development, so that people, they should know that this money has gone in there. There's more job that it has been created because people have to work and they will pay taxes. So the government will make up. And especially now that the government has, just the president needs to assign to the bill of this tax reform, you know, which has gone through the Senate. So there's more money from FRS now. People are paying taxes. People want to pay money. It's all over everywhere in the world. If you don't pay, you know, IRS in America, they can take your property if you don't pay. So people should pay so that we can use the money for development. So all this, you know, development, I see all this money that we are saving from first subsidies. Instead of going to all these people, they say they are bringing the product to the country and we're not saying anything, they're just collecting money. So the money is being saved, and like I say, our president is an accountant person. He's an auditor, so he knows where the money is. He knows where to get the money. If you know, originally in Lagos State they were collecting 800 million when he became governor in '79. Today they are collecting 60 billion. That was something that he, you know, put in place. So there's more dividend coming down for us. So let's just all be patient.
Talking about tax, well, some analysts say it's the elites that don't pay tax.
Well, you know, like I say, Mr. President will go after them. You have to pay tax. Nobody is, everybody is entitled, whether you pay luxury taxes, whether you pay all the taxes that need to be paid. Everybody must pay tax. So I think that we should, with this tax reform now, because I look at what they generated last year, they have exceeded what their target is. So with this budget now that they're changing the name to Nigerian tax, the new company, so it has all the tools to bring money in to the country. So that will go into the economy development and all that. So let's just wait and see how this tax reform,
how it rolls out.
Yes.
Okay, Fatima, you've been listening to Mr. Fake talking about taxes. You know, most of the time you see, most of the time it's the civil servants that pay taxes because it's removed directly from their salary. Tax is a way to develop a country. We demand for roads, we demand better hospitals, we demand better schools, but the tax that is supposed to be paid to ensure that these things are out there for Nigerians to enjoy is not usually paid. So how can Nigerians be aware that it is the tax they pay that fuels development?
They need to see it. Yeah, so we all know that that's part of the efforts of the FIRS and LIRS to make it more, create more awareness on that. There's been instances where you would see that advertised on TV on ways of how you can pay your tax. And I think that's also been, AI has come into play also, technology now. You don't have to go to the tax offices. Sometimes you just go on certain applications, fill the form online and do it. So aside that, we need to see that a lot of things are working in terms of now that people are now aware that they need to pay their tax. Businesses are now doing that. The development of certain things are being seen, like better roads in some areas have to be looked into in terms of development and other things in terms of money generation, because the money is there in the states. So it's just to make the state look more, how would I say, more beautiful. So I think the government needs to work more on that. Once the money is there, they need to make sure that Nigerians see that they are using the money to do something positive in their states.
All right, thank you very much, Haman.
Yeah.
Mr. Fake, Nigeria is 26 in terms of democratic, unbroken democracy. It's now 26 years, lest we forget. But would you say that we have grown institutionally, or are we still building strong individuals and weak institutions?
The last 26 years, since 79, I think Nigeria has, of interrupted government. I think we are growing, we are learning. It's not easy. A lot of people feel like the government system of democracy is a waste of money, that the people just go there and they're not doing anything in the House and the Senate. But it's something that, in little bit by little step, we have to grow and see where we can make adjustments, So I think it's a good for the country. Everybody have, the aspiration, to be a member of a house or a councillor or a chairman or the Senate, House, and the president. So, it's something that we are nurturing. If I say we are not improving, what about the young ones that are coming? So we need to create a platform for them, because as we go along the way now, we need to, nurture and train the young ones to take over. So there's still a long way to go, about democracy in Nigeria. But I think we're in the right path with Mr. President.
But our institutions, are they stronger now than when we first started? I give you an example. I have seen as a journalist where a government institution was accused of, using the premises for wrong reasons, because an individual was trying to take over their land. And the institution was crying that this land was not even allocated to them by government, that we bought this land as an institution, and that somebody wants to take it. They say what they're accusing of look around. Are you seeing it there? That's what I mean by, strong individuals and weak institutions. Our institutions, are they any stronger now?
Well, I mean, we are not where we're supposed to be, but we are moving closer. We are getting there. I think individually, like you said, an institution, it's a two different things that we need to look into to make sure that we can make our institution more stronger than the way it is now. So there's so many things that needs to be done, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, we have room for improvement to understand how this democracy really works. So if an institution needs a little bit adjustment to look into, we are in there. So we have the government, the legislative, and all that to make sure that this institution does not fail. So we have to make sure that we make it stronger, and making sure that individually and institutionally is something that we can work together to make sure that the rule of law is being followed.
Okay, thank you. I have another text message that came in. I said, good morning. I always enjoy this program. Please, I want to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for releasing funds for grants to all Nigerians, especially the SME. Please, we, the people of Akwa Ibom State, need the website to enable us access most of these grant loans and programs. Thank you. That's Ede Silvanus. He sent this message from Uyo. Talking about stronger political foundations, you said, okay, politicians are making way for the younger generations, yes. But in most cases, is that really the case? Because we see recycled politicians and very few thoughts for the younger people. They say tomorrow is for the youth, but it's like they have to wait for a lifetime. How do they get these opportunities if the positions are being recycled all the time?
Yeah, well, I mean, I look at it. How long are you going to be there for? Are you going to be there for your life? I mean, 80, 90 years old. This is the time that I would think that the older, our older. I'm looking at myself in that generation too. That it's time to step back, and try to nurture the youth, for this, for the future, because. How long are they going to be there? They said they are some of the Senate, I see them, they are old, they are just there, sitting there doing nothing. But if you put the young ones there, give them the opportunity so that they can, take the charge. And I'm pretty sure that's what the president is going to be looking into now, that he himself is going for his second term after that, to make sure that the next person is the youth, that is younger person. So we still have room for improvement in that.
Indeed. It's like we have to join our network studio for the continuation of conversations on the May 29th, second year of President Tinubu's administration and 26 years of democracy. We thank you, Mr. Kunmi Fake, Executive Director, Intergovernmental Affairs and Public Engagements, Merited Negotiation Consulting Nigeria Limited.
Thank you so much for coming.
And Honorable Fatih Muhammad, politician and media strategist. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Well, that's it on Good Morning Nigeria for today. I am Jumma Yusuf.
And I'm Victor Azo, so we'll hand you over to our network. Of course, we're on the network anyway for our special May 29 program.